Well, 30 years after the end of apartheid, remains of South African freedom fighters and activists are still being exhumed and repatriated for reburial at their home. In the latest, the remains of 42 freedom fighters who died in exile in Zimbabwe and Zambia arrived in the country on Wednesday. The government hosted an official homecoming ceremony at the Freedom Park in Pretoria. Now, the reburial ceremonies are being held in the provinces of their origin. The exile repatriation program is guided by South Africa's national policy of repatriation and reinstitution of human remains and heritage objects of 2021. This policy was adopted as part of South Africa's broader commitment to ensure that former liberation fighters who died in exile are returned home and buried with dignity. The repatriation process was conducted in close collaboration with regional governments, historical experts and local communities. The initiative also underscores South Africa's continued dedication to recognizing the sacrifices made during the liberation struggle. In the past, South Africa conducted repatriations on an ad hoc basis as well as on individual basis, usually at the request of families to local authorities and provincial governments. However, since the government has adopted a country model, this aims to accelerate the process, beginning with countries that have high numbers of liberation fighter remains like Zimbabwe and Zambia. WION spoke to some of the family members of those freedom fighters who died in exile.
I was lucky. We got the message very early after my uncle died. When people start coming back, it was not for our family, it was sad because you see some of his friends coming back, but we knew that he will never come back. And not knowing where he was buried, it was painful for the family. Until like 10 years back, when this process started of the missing person, and then we started to have hope that one day he's gonna come back home.
I feel excited and emotional at the same time because now finally I know that my mother really passed away and we'll have closure, and we also get to go to a grave because we were very young when my mom passed away. I was 3 years old, my sister was 1 year old.
South African President Cyril Ramaphosa officiated the repatriation and restitution homecoming ceremony of freedom fighters who lost their lives in Zambia and Zimbabwe during the apartheid era. The repatriation initiative is part of a broader effort to bring the remains of the freedom fighters who died in exile to their final resting places. This is not only a gesture of honor to the individuals and their families, but also an effort to strengthen the bonds of friendship, solidarity, and development with the host countries through memorialization. Family members attending the event says they are finally happy and they will finally have a closure that their loved ones will be buried in their homeland. This is Kaldanamo from Pretoria, South Africa for WION World is One.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.